Virgin.
So Jane Villanueva, that's the first time I said her last name. Jane Villanueva is a hardworking, independent young girl that is going after her dreams of studying to be a teacher and has secret dreams of being a writer. And through a crazy mishap gets part of Don't get it twisted. When I went to the gynecologist, I was like, I need a play-by-play what's going on down there. And I just went like a few weeks ago, so I was like, Dr. Brooks.
Yeah.
Dr. Brooks.
Need to know.
And I need to know. So, yes, she gets artificially inseminated with the way that telenovelas work, which is so lovely, with coincident childhood crush last sperm from his, I love it. I love it because as heightened reality as the show is, it's so grounded in naturalism.
Right.
So like, I laugh about the scenarios because that's what you do even about your life. Like if I tell you about the last 3 months, I would laugh. I'd be like, this is so ridiculous. But it's real until you treat it as thus,
Right.
And so I think that the beautiful journey with Jane is that you go on this roller coaster with this girl whose life now becomes that of telenovelas, but she's real.
Right.
She's not like, and she's not dumb.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things I noticed with Jane is that she's very grounded. Like,
Very
she
grounded.
seems like a fairly normal person.
Very normal.
Just sort of caught in this. Like, how was that to play? Like, you're surrounded by insanity. I mean...
Girl, that's my life.
Yeah.
No, I'm surrounded by insanity. You should come stay at my house one night. So... It's probably one of my favorite things to do as an actor when you're transforming into a character that, for me, thankfully, isn't very far off from, like, not only the characters I want to play, but, like, not very far off from me. I'm after my dreams. I love to love. I just want to have a good life. I just want to smile,
Right.
And the things that happen around me in normal life, I handle with positivity and care.
Okay.
And as much logic as this woman can actually do. And
that can be hard, too.
Yeah, very, very hard. And I tell my boyfriend all the time, I'm like, there's logic and then there's the way I feel.
Right.
And they both are real.
But they might not be together.
But they probably are completely opposite. Right. So I think that what's going to be a nice journey is to see Jane do those things. To deal with logic and deal with emotion. To deal with the crazy that's going around her and then the logical idea of, I need to get this fixed for, A, B to make C happen.
Right.
So it's really fun to play so grounded. It's really fun to play natural. As much as I love to do physical comedy and get all crazy, there'll be room for that. But
right.
It's nice to play a normal girl.
And it's not like it's not funny. I mean, there's still plenty of funny stuff happening.
Totally. And normal girls are great.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with being normal.
Right.
Right? Just like there's nothing wrong with being eccentric and nothing wrong with being an Amazonian princess. There's nothing wrong with being who you are.
There you go.
That's kind of how I feel.
That works.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you mentioned that you really like the way she's grounded and everything. What else do you like about Jane? Like, what is it about that you really, you connect with her?
I love her. I love playing this character. I think I love her so much because of the people they put around me. I love Jane and I love her awesome story and this roller coaster ride I'm about to go on and the fact that, I get to be pregnant and eat whatever I want. With no shame, which I actually do now anyway. But
now you don't have to be ashamed.
But now I don't have to be ashamed of it. Not once. Give me that donut. Give me 7 more.
Oh yeah. Yes. That's part of pregnancy, as far as I can tell.
Bring it on. Bring it on. So for me, I think I fell in love actually with Jane, James' family, Jane's fiance, Jane's baby dad. I fell in love with the people they put around me. They put a really strong cast around me.
Yeah,
I think everybody was like, oh, but you're the lead. You're the lead, and I'm like, no. A good leader creates other leaders, not followers. I'm not the lead. Like, even in 300, when, like, the king stood there and he was going to take it for the team, when he went back to formation, it was like everybody.
Right, all together.
And that's what we are. We're a freaking team. We're 300. And I fell in love with the 300 that was created around me.
Cool. And with the pregnancy, like, how is Jane going to take that? Like, what's that going to be like for her?
You know what? Okay, so, like, outside, I have no idea what they're going to write, right? But I got an app that tells you where you are in your pregnancy and what you feel, what you crave, stuff like that. So as an actor, that's going to be my tool to follow that. I mean, like, when do I get heartburn, or when do I get nauseous? How far along do I get nauseous?
Right.
Do I now get super angry, or am I going to get hot flashes? Those may not be written in, so I want to come with really fun choices.
Right.
buy the book, because I don't know what it's like to be pregnant. So buy the book, buy the book.
Right.
But I think that that's going to be really fun to play with that, you know? And even if it's written in, great. If it's not written in, then bringing kind of my own little flavor of like, well, if this was me, you know?
Yeah. So what do you see as like the challenges of this role?
Continuing to keep her grounded, to not make it campy, which there's nothing wrong with camp because I love to watch campy films.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a place.
There's a place and a time, and I think it's always keeping her grounded and always keeping her conscientious of, even if we deal with things, they arise again, you know? So, you get broken up with, I'm good, I'm done, I'm over it. Randomly, 7 months down the line, you hear a song and it triggers something.
Right.
So I think the challenge is going to be never letting her situation become stagnant.
Okay.
Never letting it like, okay, I'm pregnant, it's happening, fine, let's go on.
Right.
But always like, kind of always, like maybe tapping into the moments where she is going to recall prior to this situation. She is going to recall, did I make the right decision? She is going to recall, like, wherever she is in, like, the script, the story, because they don't tell us anything. They are keeping it, like, super hush-hush.
Of course.
Yeah, because and with my big mouth, I'm like, forget it, I'd be done. And everybody would know everything.
That's probably why they're not telling you anything.
That's exactly why. I'm like, Jenny, I know why you're not telling me anything. You know I got a big-ass mouth. But definitely never letting it get stagnant. I don't want her to be like, I'm good, because we always tap in as human beings to, man, no, it is the right decision. No, it is the right decision. You know, or like...
No, and you never fully come to that.
Yeah. And I think I've seen, you know, my sisters, when they were having babies, they were never even fully sure they wanted to have the baby until, like, they're pushing the baby out.
Right. And then, you know, you're kind of stuck with it at that point.
And then you're stuck with it.
Right.
So Jane maybe doesn't have to be stuck with it. We'll see. I don't know. Stuck with it is terrible. Oh, my God. My niece and nephew would kill me. I'm not stuck. You're not stuck with me.
I'm sure they're lovely things to be stuck with.
Yeah.
It's like being stuck with a chocolate cake. It's not
you're
so
right.
bad.
Oh, it's not the worst thing in the world.
Right.
No.
But it might happen.
Oh, a chocolate cake from Red Lobster. Oh, I'm so ghetto. I love it. It's my favorite.
Chocolate cake's the best thing.
And the best thing ever. Oh, you're killing me. Only because now I want chocolate cake.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I'll have it at lunch.
Hopefully, yeah.
Have
some.
it at lunch.
It'll be good.
For sure.
Now, since Jane the Virgin's based on like a telenovela style, is there anything like crazy from that genre that you would sort of like to see incorporated into the show in any way? You know, beyond the whole pregnancy.
Beyond the whole artificial insemination.
Right.
You know, I like what they played with already in the pilot, which was like the outer body experiences, visualizing the telenovela star in front of me, seeing him wink at me, you know, those kind of like really fun, like, is it her head or is this a hoax?
Right.
And I think the way Jenny writes is wonderful is that she keeps it so grounded that it's like clearly in her head, like clearly she's going a little crazy. But I want to keep seeing elements of that like grounded hoax, if that makes sense.
Okay, I think so.
Where it's still like completely like there's some fantasy to it, but there's like the reality in fantasy.
Okay.
Right? Or the real, or the aspects of fantasy that we can relate to that aren't so far that they're like unicorn, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
If there's a unicorn, it's just because Jane's having
a freaking a winking mind thing. There should be unicorns in the show, though. I was a mermaid.
So. Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna be that.
Can you imagine me riding a unicorn?
That'd be hilarious.
Just pregnant riding a unicorn. Right? You can see it too, because that would be hysterical.
Well, it would totally work with the whole the virgin thing.
Hello.
I mean, you know.
Yeah, the Immaculata. Of course it would.
Yeah. And with some of the scenes in the pilot are so ridiculous. Did you ever have trouble like keeping a straight face when you had to?
I had the hardest time keeping a straight face when my father figure, or who you find out is my father, is talking to me and he's breathing and he's telling me that ridiculous story. Because Jaime Camín, if you saw him on the panel, he's such a sweetheart. But he knows how to do that. Cuando yo soy. And I'm looking up at him and I'm like, no.
Like, have to keep us.
Yeah, have to. And Yara, everything I did with Yara, I wanted to laugh. With her between my legs, I wanted to die. I couldn't with her. And when I was a mermaid and the Adonis, his one little freaking line of like, do what? I'm like. So we had a lot of good times. I think me and Justin, we had a few laughing fits that we couldn't get over.
That that could be difficult since your scenes were very serious.
Very
together.
serious, and then we would just have laughing fits, and I'm like, this is not the time. Not the time, sir.
No, you have to talk about life issues.
Yeah,
babies.
And babies, and you having cancer. Oh my God, cancer sucks. Hashtag cancer sucks.
Yes,
Yeah.
it will make it in there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And totally blanked.
I like your earrings.
Thank you. So Jane's relationship with her mother and grandmother,
Love.
very strong.
Love.
How was that to play?
You know, it was friggin' awesome because I have a very strong relationship with my mother and my grandmother as well. And I think seeing those relationships are important. Important, like, educationally, in the sense of, like, oh, like, there's a healthy or maybe not so healthy relationship, because her and her mom don't have a healthy relationship until she finds out that her mom was the one that actually wanted to keep her.
Right.
And so I think that that's a great dynamic in the whole teen mom situation, where it's like, you know, that's I think gonna call up some stuff for Andrea, and Andrea being able to talk about that.
Right.
Teen mom and like that kind of situation.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal. It is a big deal. Especially when like some places glorify the teen mom.
Right.
It's not about glorifying anything in this realm. There's no right or wrong. It's about just what works for you and what's your path. And for me, I think what's beautiful is that you see the relationship with her and her mom change, but you see the respect. You see the respect grow, but you see the respect for her and her grandmother that is like a bond that is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And I think they're going to keep playing with that family dynamic. So I'm excited to see what they write. Because I love those women. And it's the first time on a TV show that 3 Puerto Rican women are the leads.
I believe it. Yeah, I mean, it's not
It's not
kind of an
common.
unusual show.